What's up, everybody? Walmart. We're back. We're back, baby, again.
Not a bad fish right there, guys.
Oh, no.
Out here catching Folsom bass right now, dude. Woo, he's a little chunker. What up, what up, what up? What up, everybody? It is I, Dave Erkey, the Wolf of Walmart, back for episode 2 of the Whole Angler podcast. I'm getting really more and more excited about this episode. I'm going to be bringing on one of my oldest friends in fishing, in the fishing community. I have a couple buddies around me that I've been fishing with for a while, but this is a guy who it was kind of an odd way on how we built this relationship, and now he's one of my closest friends, and we have a great time. We chat often. A lot of times it's not really about fun stuff because life is not always fun. But that guy, he always knows how to bring me back into bring my head back around and fill my brain with a little bit of gratitude. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on my buddy here, Zechariah, PA Bass Angler. Why are you wearing a hard hat?
Actually, Dave, tonight I am the safety coordinator, and I just want to make sure you have your hot work permit ready to go. We don't need any fires to interrupt the podcast, so I just want to make sure we've got all the boxes checked.
No.
And make sure that we have a safe and productive podcast session.
Thank you. What he's referring to is my computer actually shot smoke out of it. I got it on fire on somebody else's podcast on accident, and it didn't go well.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you? Holy cow, dude. That was solid. We've been in the green room for 30 minutes just talking, and then I pull us out and I do the intro to the show, and I look down and it's kind of a muted screen, so I couldn't really see what he has on his head. And then I pop him up on the screen. He's got a giant hard hat. Solid, dude.
Hey, giant hard hats are for guys with big heads.
For the big brain. Look at the big brain on Brad.
Something like that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Dude, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just experienced. I'm on my I'm on my 6th day off in a row after a entire spring and summer of working my rear end off.
Oh, I know, dude. We talked. You're doing 12-hour days, 7 days a week. And then you have another business on top of that you're doing at night. So it's you never stop going. I don't even know what 6 days off of work looks like. I don't even know how you feel like you're on Earth right now.
I don't. The neat thing is I just got called out for a 3-day hit that is going to make it like I worked all week. So,
well, I mean, worked all week for a normal person, not for you.
I am just talking about money, baby.
There you go. There you go. Oh, I love it. So I guess we could either start from the beginning or we can start where you're at now, but I prefer to kind of start where we are from the beginning. So I know you weren't necessarily born with a rod in your hand. So you had to have no fishing rod. You weren't born with a fishing rod in your hand. So at some point or another, you had to learn or get introduced to fishing. How'd that look?
Yeah. So introduced to fishing by my Jaja. That's Polish for grandfather for all you people out there. That was on the Niagara River up in Buffalo, New York.
Like the one that has the waterfall?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So anyways, well, actually not Buffalo, it was North Tonawanda, close to Buffalo. Anywho, so yeah, so my Jaja loved to fish. And he was my first introduction to fishing, but he liked to do crazy stuff. Like he couldn't stand the fact that we wouldn't leave our rods alone. Boys will be boys.
Yeah.
So he would use like these big handkerchiefs and tie our rods to the railing.
Oh,
Yeah. So you get to cast it, and then he would tie it up so that you would just sit there and be patient. And which I firmly believe is why the minute I was ripping a lure across the top of the water and a fish blew out and took it, the heavens opened up, and wahoo wahoo, and I've never slowed down since.
so how old were you when this happened? Like,
Dude, I don't know, man. It's I was a kid, little kid. I mean, a little kid, like just over toddler at best.
oh wow, like 5,
And
6, young.
yeah. And there was, my mom has told me about a few different little fishing things that I did with my dad or whatever. My dad's not a big fisherman. In fact, my dad didn't like the water. But then in 2000, I was the Schneider for a apartment building here in Pittsburgh. You don't understand. I don't remember the name of the show, but there was a sitcom, like late 70s sitcom, and there was a guy that fixed all this stuff. He was the handyman for an apartment building. He lived in the apartment building, was also the handyman for the apartment building, and his name was Schneider.
Got it. I was like, I've never heard that term ever. Y'all are different out there.
One of the tenants, now it's gonna kill me that I can't remember the name of that show. But one of the tenants, his name was Harvey, and we became really good friends, and he was very much into fishing. And we eventually ended up going into a Walmart, buying everything we could off the bottom shelf for as little as we could. And that is basically when my love for bass fishing began.
You went from a Schneider to a bass fisherman overnight?
Oh, I'm still a Schneider sometimes, buddy.
So you grew up fishing in New York, but you live in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, we went up to visit my grandparents all the time.
Oh, okay. So they live in New York and you grew up in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Nice. What part of Pennsylvania?
Pittsburgh, baby.
So you've been in Pittsburgh your whole life, because you're in Pittsburgh now, right?
Yep.
Dude.
Yep. I was born 20 minutes north of Pittsburgh. Well, technically I was born in Ohio.
Ooh, don't say that too hard.
Yeah. I was born in Ohio. My parents at the time lived, in within like 30 minutes of Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came time for me to come into the world, they actually drove to the doctor's house. In Ohio, and that's where I was born.
Like, he didn't show up to the hospital, so they showed up to his house? Or
dude,
you were born, you don't remember. I know.
My parents were my mom was hippie because she was with my dad. She was never really a hippie and still isn't. My dad is definitely a freaking hippie. But like more so very old school than hippie. And so they just did things the old fashioned way as often as they possibly could. And yeah. And then my mom cleaned herself up after I was born and made breakfast for everybody.
That's gnarly. That's so gnarly.
It's a true story.
That's gnarly. And you're a father of kids. I'm a father of kids. I've been there. I've seen how it goes down. And I don't know how you would stand up and make breakfast after that. Your mom next level, dude. That's gnarly. That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't like. I don't mean this in any kind of way to take away anything from anybody else, especially not the mother of my children, because she's fantastic. But they just don't make them like my mom anymore.
Dude. I'm gonna let you in on a little something. I don't think they've ever made them like your mom. If you're gonna have a baby,
I don't know, man. People were tough back then, man. People were just tough. People aren't tough anymore, man. They're just not.
I'm not gonna disagree with you. There's definitely a difference in these generations now. And it's funny because I used to sit around younger and hang out with older kids and hang out with the older crowd and adults and stuff. And they used to complain about our generation, you know. And I was just
Dude,
like, dude, these guys.
I just finished rehabilitating a turbine for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And the guy that was foreman, his name is Emil.
Yeah.
He's about 5 foot nothing, built like a brick shit house. And I am telling you right now, dude, I am a hardworking SOB. This guy put me to shame. The dude's at least 15 years older than me. I'm 46, about to be 46. And this dude does not stop, does not miss a day of work, does not call off, is always there no matter what, and busting his hump every freaking day. He just doesn't miss, he doesn't skip, and I don't know where the hell he gets it. And then I find out that the guy wakes up 2 hours early every day so that he can practice his guitar before he goes to work.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's conviction. I don't even know what to call that.
Dude, like, people like that inspire me, man. People like
Dude,
that inspire me. Speaking of inspiration, how about Andrew Hayes? 5 years, man.
5 years, dude. He earned it the hard way, bro.
Hell yeah, he did, man.
Sick.
Hell yeah,
shout
he did.
out Hayes. Shout you out, brother. That's
more than anything else, that people like that inspire me. The inspiration to the hardworking people that bust their ass. That's beautiful to me. That's poetry.
Yeah, dude. So I'm not underplaying Hayes or anything like that, but I feel like there's a certain amount of us still around where hard work is your, like, the hard work ethic is your lifestyle. You know, like, you show up early. If you are 15 minutes early, you are on time. If you are 14 minutes early, you are late. You know, it's very structured lifestyle. Like, I used to be a very rigid, structured.
I work hard, but I ain't on time, bro.
Yeah, well, dude,
just letting you know.
Okay, well, I know, bro. I've hung out with you a few times. We've worked together, and on time ain't your strong quality, but working.
When I show up, I'll show up right, but it's when I show up.
When I show up, I'll make up for those hours in the first 20 minutes. Yeah, no, it's all good, dude. I just feel like the structured lifestyle is very. It's fading, you know, like, people are very blasé. Like, I was extremely structured for a very long time, and not necessarily let myself go, but I've learned to, like, relax on a few things as I've gotten older, especially with kids and stuff like that, because I assume that my 1-year-old and my 9-year-old should live this structured lifestyle just like I do, and it did not go over well. So I had to learn to, like, be a little bit more lenient, but still encourage, you know, having a schedule and a routine, you know, like a daily thing that you do. Not brush your teeth, but, like, you're always on time. You always say please. You always say thank you. You're always honest. You tell, even if the truth hurts somebody else, that's what you tell them, you know, just.
Yeah. No, I mean, there is such a thing as tact, but.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Getting there.
One at a time, Zach. One at a time.
Just progress, not perfection. All right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get through it. Trying to get through it daily, you know? So anyways, so we kind of skipped a little bit of a gap because you went from fishing as a small child to a Snyder. And I'm guessing you weren't managing an apartment complex at 7. So what was your childhood like? Like, what'd you guys do? Did you guys go out and have a good time? Were you always playing ball in the park, or?
No,
yeah,
I worked.
I bet you did. No,
I grew up on a farm, and I worked.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you grew up on a farm, dude.
Yeah. I started working. I got my first paying job when I was 9 years old, baling hay with the farmer down the road. But I actually grew up on a farm as well. It was an oddball farm, farm nonetheless, though. I grew up on a dairy goat farm.
A dairy goat farm?
Mm-hmm.
Like milking goats? Like goat milk? That's kind of cool, dude. I've never. What's that?
Hey, my dad always said if the good Lord would have meant us to milk cows, he'd have given us 4 hands.
That's strangely logical. Like, I love it. So goat farm. So dude, what's that? What was it? What was a day? What was your routine? Like, how did that look? Like, you just woke up in the morning and
Get
started
up,
stroking goats, or like
get up about 4 a.m. Milk the goats, feed the goats, muck stalls if it's needed. We had chickens. We actually had Angora rabbits too. So you just fed everything, watered everything, take care. I mean, I was carrying 5-gallon buckets of water as soon as I was tall enough to get them up off the ground. So, yeah. And let me tell you something. Goats don't smell good, bro.
No, they don't.
Especially the buck goats. So, yeah. So you get that smell on you, and there ain't a soap in the world that'll take it off quick.
No.
So I went to school smelling like that just about every damn day.
Oh, dude.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better, Dave.
Continue. Now I'm interested.
My parents are Jehovah's Witnesses. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. So I was the stinky Jehovah's Witness goat boy.
Oh, school was awesome for you.
Believe it or not, that whole it'll build character.
Yeah.
I didn't do too bad in school, man.
No.
I always had friends. I actually got along with damn near everybody. Yeah, I actually don't really have too many complaints about school, man. It was all right.
Well,
but it was something to get over in your own head.
Oh, definitely, dude. That talk about character. That's like a whole ideal of mental toughness right there. Like, dude, as a kid, like going being the smelly, like religious kid, like I can imagine it's just like a struggle every day, like internal struggle, dude.
Believe it or not, it actually is even better than that. I have my own. I get my own ideas about things, and I'm pretty tenacious and pretty stubborn, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And I think for it wasn't kindergarten, not first grade, maybe not even second grade, but I know there was I think at least 2 years where I insisted on wearing a suit and carrying a briefcase to school.
You chose that. That was your idea?
Yes, I chose that.
Did you listen to ska music at the time?
No. Ska wasn't invented, buddy.
Oh, gee.
I don't remember why, but
dude, hey, that's I can't say that I would have been mean to you, but I can't say I would have hung out with you. No offense. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, as a kid, like somebody showing up to school like my dad, I'd be like, whoa, what?
Hey, later on in middle school, that long after I had let go of carrying a briefcase to school, I actually started carrying a briefcase to school again, but it was for a completely different reason.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, well, no, I found out that I could go to like a big box store and buy Little Debbie cakes for a certain price and undersell the a la carte line at school.
Bro. You've been in the business for a long time, dude.
So, dude, I made like hundreds of dollars doing it, dude.
I bet. Little Debbie's, those were crack.
Mm-hmm. And all I had to do was undersell them by 10 cents.
Oh, well,
and everybody was on it, bro.
Oh, I bet. Oh, dude, you're a genius. So
the school didn't like it once they figured out what I was doing. They didn't like it at all.
I bet not. Dude. They're like, why is our lunch down so much? Like
that was I think that was my third trip to the principal's office in my school career.
Okay. I'm going to say this, and it's not a judgmental statement. I'm just going to say you are the only person I have ever known to go to the principal's office for selling Debbie cakes.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that's an original one. Like I've heard
even better than that, dude. Later on in high school, I never went to the principal's office for selling anything else. So
But dude, I'm more familiar with hearing that kind of thing, not Little Debbie cakes, dude. That's
I learned my lesson early, buddy.
yeah. All right, so I learned this when I was doing Debbie cakes. Let's be a little more subtle. No briefcase. So high school, school. Did you fish through school? Did you?
No, not at all.
You just what were you into? Like what was driving you at the time besides girls? Because I mean, it's school.
Freaking girls, dude. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, we all did it. So
yeah. But anywho, no, art. Yeah. I was actually pretty damn talented, and that was my deal. Art and music. When I was young, I wrote a few songs. I played the piano for many years. Won an award for one of them. But yeah.
Do you still play the piano now?
No. When I get around one, I'll sit down and I don't know. I just mess around on it and it still sounds good,
Yeah.
But like I couldn't. I don't even think I remember how to read music anymore though.
Oh dang! I was gonna say I mean I mess up some chopsticks all day, but that's about as far as I get on a piano. Maybe a little heart and soul.
The show was One Day at a Time.
Oh, you're looking it up.
Yeah,
Snyder from One Day at a Time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look this up because I'm always interested.
I'm gonna send you a picture right now, buddy.
All right, cool. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying I'm gonna look up the show and try and watch it just so I can get an accurate depiction later because I think that's hilarious. Plus, I like watching TV at night. So, moving forward, I say a lot. I'm trying to say it less, but I nonetheless will still probably pop off at the mouth with about 10, 20 more ums. So moving out of school, got a job. Were you an artist? You focused on art. You focused on music. When you got hey, we're wearing the same shirt.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah, dude. Did you focus on art or music or what were you doing after?
I actually went to a 2-year school for a bachelor's degree in art. Had some bar back jobs. It's just some stupid part-time jobs, in high school. I never stopped working. As soon as I was done working for the farmer, baling hay, I got my first job, which was Wendy's. Yeah, I think I worked at Wendy's.
You worked for Dave?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dave's not here, man. Yeah, and then I worked at a couple other restaurants, worked at a bar doing bar backing, and then I started into the family business, doing construction.
What up, dudes and dudettes? I'm sure you're tired of hearing my voice by now, but you're going to hear it for a little bit longer because this is a shout out to the sponsor of this show, Kayak City. Kayak City has been taking care of me ever since I started getting into a boat and paddling around in the water trying to catch some fish. And when I tell you it is Kayak City, it is literally like a city of kayaks. They have Bonafide, Eddyline, Feel Free, Hobie, Jackson, Native, New Canoe, Old Town, Wilderness Systems, and so many used kayaks. I stopped trying to count them a long time ago. If you guys are looking for accessories, they have walls and walls and walls of accessories. They have one wall dedicated specifically to Yak Attack, and it is a massive wall. Kayak City is your #1 Yak Attack dealer here in Northern California. If you want to know where it is, stop by at 7812 Auburn Boulevard, Citrus Heights, CA. Roll through, say what up to James, Troy, Eric, Scott. Tell them Dave says what's up and tell them I sent you there. Thanks for listening.
You went from food into construction. Now, did you stick with art or music or anything at this time, or were you just working?
So music went from playing it to just loving it, and listening to it. So kind of dropped off on that.
Gotcha.
And then, the art, I've done that forever. In fact, even now to this day, I still do it in one form or the other.
Yeah. I believe that I've talked to you before, and I know I'm probably gonna bust this out for everybody else, but isn't that where you actually came up with your Instagram handle?
So Metal Jones. That is yeah. I made steel art and needed a name for the business. And I'm metal, obviously steel, and then you get the Joneses, so Metal Jones.
Dude. And it was so well because when you actually told me your full name, Zech Fullard, the first time like we talked about it, I was like,
Zechariah Jones.
I'm like, it's not Jones.
No, it's Zechariah Jones Fullard. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. And in high school, you could hear it echoing down the halls from anybody that knew me. Zechariah Jones.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. So you're working construction, you're building houses.
Yeah.
I know you have a family. How does that jump into the picture?
So going to school for art, I met Kara.
Mm-hmm.
It's the mother of my two boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had kids, we got married.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super dope, dude.
We're not married anymore.
Well, yeah. So, but you had two.
And then I
kids.
tried again, and I'm not married to the second one anymore either.
Dude, I told myself if this one doesn't work out, I'm never trying again. I'm over it. The lost.
I am over it. My dad. I remember being a teenager, and my parents, even though I wasn't a Jehovah's Witness anymore, they were still trying to enforce their rules about life and everything on me, and they didn't want me going to hang out with somebody that wasn't a Jehovah's Witness, and I told them to get bent, but it caused a fight, and my dad said, one day the girls thing, he goes, it's just not going to matter anymore. And I was like, Dad, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm in love. He was right. I don't give a shit anymore.
Oh, just chalk it up for another one where you're like, yep, ended up like Dad, because there's tons of stuff my dad told me when growing up, and I was like, no way, old man. And
yeah. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you have no idea about life. You don't live the life that I live.
But I don't know, man. I'll love Kara till the day I die. Obviously, it's different now, but
yeah,
amazing woman.
That's good.
A fantastic mother. So I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And I helped to raise two boys, and I did that, and now I'm done, and I don't want to do it again.
Yeah,
and that doesn't detract from any of the love I have for any of them, and it doesn't make me wish it didn't happen. I'm so glad it happened. It was a beautiful time in my life, but I am freaking done, dude. I am doing other shit now.
Yeah. I would say you're preaching to the choir, but I was 41 and had another baby, so yeah, I'm just stupid like that. So, Kara, two boys. Who boys' names? Let's hear it.
Isaac and Max.
Isaac and Max. All right. Now, at this time, you haven't been fishing or doing anything. You've just been living life, working, providing a little bit of art here and there. Yeah.
Well, 2000. When I met Harvey, that was pretty much just a couple months before. That was pretty much just a couple months before the boy was born.
The first boy?
Yep.
All right.
Isaac is the boy.
Isaac is the boy. So you and Harvey are raiding the bottom shelf at Walmart and just going ape shit on the water, being able to reel and cast for your first time.
Oh, dude, we bought
to a log. Yeah.
We ended up buying a 2-man blow up raft from Walmart, one of the round ones.
Yes.
Oh, dude, I we don't have time for all the stories I have about the shenanigans we got into.
Bro, just tell me one. Give me one, dude. Give me. I want to hear about this round inflatable fishing buddy here.
So we used to fish one of the closest reservoirs to us, which was Raccoon Creek Reservoir, and every time we would go there, which we caught fish, but we never did very well at all. Okay. But every time we would go there would be fish jumping out of the water, sticking their tongues out at us on the other side of the lake. Every freaking time, dude. And that's actually what prompted us to do this. And so we got the raft. Yeah. And be damned, we were going to use it, and we did. We blew it up, we inflated it, we got in it. And neither one of us were like small guys, you know what I mean? We weren't huge or anything like that. But so we had like the only way to sit in there with all of our gear and everything was like back to back. All right.
Yes, dude.
And from a previous excursion, we had obviously we had a paddle. Mm-hmm. Okay, not two, just a paddle. But we also had
like a fishtail. Just
from a previous excursion, we had the shell, a part of the shell of a vacuum cleaner that we found worked decently as a paddle. So one of us had that, and one of us had the paddle.
This is a mission, dude. Yes.
And we're making our way across. We get just about to the middle of the lake, and we're like trying to like get comfortable. This was the first time we ever attempted to fish out of said raft. Before, it was just a means to get from one point to another, and that was in a creek that was literally at flood levels, which was a whole different. That's another story. But so we were going to attempt to fish out of it this time, and like immediately, I think it was Harvey's first cast, he hooked the raft. And this is not your inflatable kayak material. Okay, this is, if you look at it wrong, it's going to get a hole in it. Oh. And so it started deflating.
No, dude.
So like our legs are like going up like this, and with ourselves back to back squished in the middle of the raft, it's starting to do this. And so we hurry up and paddle our asses off to the other side. We make it like 6 feet offshore before we're just in water. And
like a wet bro taco, dude. This is awesome.
We get over there, and we walk the rest of the way to shore, and start setting our gear down. And the grass was super tall, and so we started like smashing the grass down with our tackle boxes. The hard plastic tackle boxes looked like a toolbox kind of deal. Yeah. And we're like smashing the grass down, and there's a snake, and Harvey does not like snakes. Harvey freaks out, and he's like trying to whack it with a paddle, and then he ends up running back into the water. So then we stood in like 5 feet offshore, knee deep in water, while we repaired the raft, blew it up, and went back to the other side where we started and finished the day off fishing.
Bro. That's awesome. That's awesome story. I love it. I'm so glad you told me that.
I can't do that story justice. Like, bro, I wish GoPros were a thing, because if I had that footage, baby.
It'd be underwater. You were a bro taco, dude. You're coming up with your backs together. Like, that's awesome. So this was 2000, right? Around 2000.
Yeah, that was like 2000-ish. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, roughly about. Okay, so that was the last hurrah, you guys. Not that specific occasion, but around.
No, era. Harvey and I fished together until probably about 2004, 2005.
Oh, okay, cool. So
yeah,
so you had a fishing buddy time, and was it all strictly bass fishing, or is it just whatever swims?
It was whatever. Okay, so it started out as cases of beer and fishing. So it was more like just like pissing around and hanging out than anything else. But we started to learn about work and lures and everything else because both of us we're just that way. Like nothing's good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as soon as we caught on to it, it quickly, the beer part left like within the first year. And we got into it. We were reading everything we could. Things started getting ordered from the internet. Like we like magazines and books were bought and yeah, it was nuts. So we fished together pretty hardcore until he moved to Arizona in like 2004, 2005.
Wow. So because he left, you lost your fishing buddy. Did you set your rods down, or was it just...
Absolutely not?
Okay. So how'd that work out for you?
What, me fishing by myself?
Yeah, I was gonna say
it only intensified.
Okay, I was gonna say I do.
So
dude, if I'm not with somebody, I
yeah.
focus. Yeah.
So 2 years after the boy was born, there was another boy born, and Kara didn't do very well being pregnant. She just didn't do very well at all. And like she had demons in her eyes. I, for as tough as an SOB as I can be, I didn't handle that well. And so I went fishing instead.
Get it?
And
I got it.
Yeah, that wasn't that. I don't recommend that to anybody. That running away from shit is bad.
The using fishing as an escape.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. But that being said, I went on to catch like my PB, which was 7 pounds 8 ounces, which is pretty unheard of out here in PA. They're big out. You can find them big out here, but that's pretty goddamn big. But I learned all kind of neat things. I developed this way of fishing soft plastics on top of the water that I still haven't let go of. But I fished pretty hardcore all the way up until like 2008. That's when we got divorced and I kind of had to start over.
Yeah. And
I had my kids 50% of the time.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have time for that. So and I was broke. So I actually sold all my fishing gear.
Oh wow.
Yeah, all of it.
Dude, I mean, hey, I can't say I haven't sold rods and stuff before many times. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but I can relate to the restart, and it's the most awkward and like uncomfortable situation. It's a scary
that restart
spot.
Taught me a lot, though, dude.
It's a scary spot to be in, though, dude. Like
it is, but it I don't regret it either. It taught me a whole lot.
Oh hell yeah.
I'm definitely a better person for it.
Yeah, definitely, dude. I mean, the resiliency alone, like that creates so much emotional stamina and like mental toughness. Like, I don't know. I've been there, and I didn't handle it well, even though it was definitely
neither did I, man.
Happen. And
I didn't either. It took me 4 years to get over that shit.
Yeah. It took me a minute to not really get over it so much as get over myself, so at least that's because I get in my own way a lot of the times. Like my bright ideas put me in a situation.
Dave, I don't believe for a second you get in your own head.
Yeah, I get in my own way a lot, so I didn't handle it well. So I can relate to the a lot of life lessons learned there. Yeah. So how old were your kids about this time, give or take? 4 years later, you're feeling a little bit better about everything.
So that would be 4 years after. That's like 2012. That would make Isaac 11, and that would make Max 9. So
you're starting to feel yourself. You're starting to get back into life. You're providing all this kind of stuff. Were you? Because you're a fellow brother in the union for sure. Were you in the union yet, or were you?
No.
Okay.
No. I uh, uh, with much futility, toiled away at Ma and Pa fab shops. Which, by the way, 2000 when my kid was born. Excuse me. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Oh, I got a banner for that.
And nope, that was a burp.
I know. I had to put it there. It doesn't even say your name. It just says Brad.
Yeah, it said Brad farted.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
no, 2001, I had switched from building houses to doing historical restoration at some point in there. And then in 2001, when the boy was born, I needed more stability and more consistency. So I got into steel fabrication.
Okay.
And so that's what I did. And I worked in various steel shops from then all the way until 2000 2018, 19.
Okay. So you had been doing metal fabrication as art, and then you took it on as a business. Did they let you did they understand?
Actually, no, it was I was working for that, and then I started doing it for art too because I had access to the machinery.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're plugging through life, dude. You haven't been fishing in a while. What is life looking like for you right about then, dude? Because I mean, I can imagine tell me that I just bleeped off. I can imagine that there's going to be a little bit of an issue, with no U time, right?
Yeah, there was. I still got along, man. I don't have too many complaints, man. I always have something that I'm doing that keeps my brain busy besides work and life.
Yeah.
Your screen's gone, right, buddy?
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it right now, trying to figure it out because
you're good. We can keep going.
Yeah, it's all set up. I didn't do anything. So my screen just blacked out. There we go.
There you are.
Got it. Nailed it. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you. My bad.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just me. I gotta have something going on, and I guess that becomes my me time because I grew up working. I've always worked, so that's me. That's what me time looks like. You can even look at fishing as work, man.
You can look at fishing as work. I don't look at fishing as work at all. I understand that. I understand why you look at fishing as work. We're getting there because we're gonna move into that pretty short.
No, it's. I think most people have a bass backwards idea about work. Work is usually like, I don't know. Most people, when they talk about work, there's a negative connotation, and I don't believe that. The fruits of my labor are joyous to me.
Yeah. Well, this goes back to our conversation about people are built different these days. Being in the union, I get these apprentices that come in for their 8 and skate, and you're like, dude, they don't even know how to read a tape measure, and it's like, and they don't want to. They just want to go somewhere, hide in the corner, and hang out on their phone until 8 hours is over. And you're like, dude,
not knowing how is way different than not wanting to know how.
Have pride, have some sort of pride.
Absolutely. To me, it's no different than when I was doing art. It's art. Art is not easy. It's something you have to work at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Playing the piano isn't easy, man. It's something you have to work at. Learning how to operate a carbon dioxide steel cutting laser is not easy, dude. It's something you have to work at.
Yeah, I would hope.
So I
would hope it wouldn't be easy.
So I don't really have I don't really see too much of a line in between that stuff.
Yeah. So I'm just going to ask you this before we move on, because we're getting ready to start. I know about this time of your life where we're at, just because I know you as a friend. But I just want to stop and be like, dude, so to date or to this point in your life, dude, biggest struggle you had to jump through, biggest uphill battle you had at this point in your life.
That would definitely be the divorce of my first wife, Karen, the mother of my kids.
I figured. So do you have anything that you took away from it, dude? Like something that you could like, because there's a lot of dudes out there. There's a lot of dudes like us out there who have gone through this, who are going through it, dude. Is there something that you took away from it that, you know?
Yeah. Being happy is a choice. It's a choice you make every day. And if you want to be happy, you got to work at it.
I love it. I just want to play that song. Work.
You really do. You know, I taught myself to stop. I taught myself to stop looking at the big picture, because the big picture at that point in my life was enough to drive somebody crazy, which, by the way, there was a time where I didn't do so well, man. There was a year there where I was pretty mentally bad. But I taught myself to just start paying attention to like every little good thing that happens, and like you have to work at that. Like that's a muscle that needs used.
Yeah.
And as I started doing that and paying attention to the good stuff, you know, then the other stuff starts to settle down and at least become even with the good stuff. And before you know it, then everything becomes a little more manageable.
Dude, thank you, because there's dudes out there that are going through this right now, and I never thought, like, just sitting here talking to you now, like we've talked many times, but the concept of happiness is a choice has never really occurred in my mind, because I don't think I've ever put it in such a perspective like that. So thanks, dude.
Man.
I'm gonna crunch on that on my brain, and you know I'm gonna call you in like 2 days, be like, I don't get it. Well, how can it be a choice? Like, how many is a feeling? But then at the same time, like, that falls under the same thing of feelings aren't facts. Like, our feelings aren't facts, so
they're facts for you.
They are perspectives.
No, they're facts for you.
Dude, exactly, perspective. Like, it's my perspective, your perspective. We see the same.
It's a fact you have to deal with.
We both see the same situation, and we're going to think two different things about it, you know?
Sure. And that's a fact you have to deal with.
All right. All I'm saying is I've always had the perspective that feelings aren't facts. And like, when I have certain feelings, or I have a mindset about something, that I need to maybe take a breath, stop, and ask a couple other people about it, because I might be really, really wrong. You know?
Yeah. So like, yeah. And I mean, you and I are basically saying the same thing, man. It's like, I'm saying it's a fact for you, and that's true, but you have to realize that it's not a fact for everybody else.
True. Yeah. No, feelings are not facts. No, they're not facts. They're not facts. They're not facts. I'll die on this hill. What?
Dude,
go ahead.
I've had many a conversation with many loves in my life where I don't know, man. They'd argue with you on that hill. They'd come up with a sword and shield and ready to do battle to the death that their fucking feelings are facts.
I know, I'm married to one. I get it. I'm just saying.
And that's actually so for me, when I'm met with a force like that, you kind of have to, if you want to understand it, you kind of have to step into it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then understand it, and then you can step back out of it and understand, okay, you know what? I can see where that thing that is going on with you is going on with you, and that is a fact that it is going on with you. You feel that way. This is a fact.
Yeah.
And you just kind of then you just kind of chip away after that at trying to find like a compromise, you know?
There's that word again, compromise. I've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, dude, I don't like it. Dude, listen, I'm not a huge fan of it either, because when I decide that I'm right,
that's a fact. That's fact. Yes, that is a fact.
It's
All
pretty
right.
tough. It's pretty tough to get me to move off of that.
Yeah. So, you've been out of fishing for a little bit. Been back on it. Been out of fishing for a little bit, just kind of living your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you decided to just dive right back into fishing and start owning everything, or how'd that work?
Fast forward, I stopped the fabrication end. All this time that I'd been fabricating steel, I would always like make little fixes to the machines and this, that, and everything else. And I was pretty goddamn good at it. I got into a company where I was doing work for them and it was pretty cool. And then they got this contract with JLG and I was making the same 4 parts every day for about 2 years straight. And yeah, that wasn't working out for me. And a buddy of mine told me he could get me a job as a millwright at a foundry here in Pittsburgh. And so, which by the way is the 7th circle of hell. I actually didn't mind it that much. It was kind of cool. But
you would.
But so I got into that and I really liked it. But my first job at that place, like my first assignment at that place as a millwright, I ended up doing composite with local 443 millwrights. And they immediately told me that very day that you're wasting your time. You need to get in the union. And so even though I worked for this place for 2 years, that whole time, it was a process of getting into the union. I was pretty skittish about getting in the union because I'd always been told not good things about it. So it took me a while to like make up my mind about it. And then I got in and here I am. But after I got into the union, I got sent to FedEx to do conveyor work. And it was up in Erie. And right like 2 days before I went on that job, the boy came up to me and said, "Dad, will you take me fishing?" I'm like, "What? Yeah, I'll take you fishing. Let's do this." And it never dawned on me that like Father's Day was right around the corner, and that's why he was asking me to do that.
That's a super awesome move.
Well, the boy and I have a very special relationship. So like when he was born, his mom was taken into an emergency C-section, general anesthesia, yada yada yada. And so like I was the first one to hold the boy. I was the first one.
Yeah.
And ever since then it just but anywho, I'm gonna get misty.
It's a good thing to get misty about. There ain't nothing wrong with that, dude. Like that's a whole next level thing.
But so he asked me to do that. I said sure. But I had to go on the job first, and the job was up in Erie, and everybody there was talking about fishing. One day of listening to everybody talk about fishing, the boy asking me to go fishing, I literally went to Sportsman's Warehouse, bought a rod, a reel, a whole basket full of baits, line, and a canoe.
What? Not another inflatable circle, dude? No more bro taco?
No.
So you went from bro taco to Brocahonis.
I actually had a canoe after the bro taco, but
oh god.
Yeah.
Your canoes, bro. Yeah.
I really like the canoe, dude. I really do. I still do.
Bro, you know what? Knowing you, like I couldn't see you in anything else. Like you are that guy, and like you rock a canoe, dude. I've seen pictures. Like you.
If you want to see, if you want me to send you, I'll send you the picture where I'm Captain Morganing on the canoe. If you want.
I know I got that thing on heat on my phone. I might actually
I
might use it for the art for the show.
That's what I'm saying. You can use it for the art for the show, dude. I went to Lake Erie, not on the canoe. I just went to a marina and caught a fish, and then went home.
Smallmouth, bluegill, trout.
Largemouth.
Okay.
And went home and was doing some side handyman work and started looking for a good fishing podcast. Found Tackle Talk
Oh yeah.
and found Dark Horse Tackle because of Tackle Talk.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Nah, that's not how here we are. Don't even go there. Now we're getting into the juice. Just kidding.
It feels like it was that fast, bro. It feels like it was that
I
fast.
listened to Andrew Hayes, and here I am 11 years later.
I was doing some cleaning, right? I had saved all of my Dark Horse Tackle boxes,
Oh yeah.
And I had to get rid of them all, but I found the very first one and I still have it.
I have mine too. Yeah, the top water.
Yeah.
The blue one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I got mine too. That's I saved that one, the one you guys sent me for my wedding.
Yeah.
Which I still appreciate. I think that's so dope. And then I think I have like the river box. Like I have a couple different like specialty boxes, but other than that,
I don't think I was co-owner of Dark Horse Tackle when you had your wedding. I don't think so.
you were not. You were just the homie. I think what happened is because we became friends, you had orchestrated that shit. Because I don't know. I know Jason or the owner who will not be named and Josh would never have just done that on their own. So I thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. But all right, so listen to Tackle Talk. You hear Dark Horse Tackle. Subscribe to
we did skip over something.
What happened?
I told you I always got to have a thing, right?
Yes.
So from whenever it started, which I don't remember when it was, I think it was like 2011, 2012. I can't remember the exact date. From the time that it launched until that day in Erie, I was a extremely avid Pokemon Go player.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Pause the Dark Horse Tackle. Explain to me extreme Pokemon Go player.
I said avid. I didn't say extreme, but extreme is extreme. Extreme actually works pretty well.
I was going to say you're a black or white person. You're either all in or you're all out. You're not occasionally just strolling on.
No, I started playing it. Dude. I started playing it because my second wife was really into Pokemon, and my kids also were into Pokemon. We actually played the card game together. It was a cool thing to do together. Yeah. And then it came out on mobile phones, and it was pretty badass, and I liked it. I got into it. Then I became part of Pokemon Go Pittsburgh, which was a Discord channel, and then I became the administrator, and then I became the owner. It had like, I don't know, like something like 50,000 users or some shit like that. Yeah.
Dude. 50,000?
Yeah, it was pretty big, dude.
Dude. And only Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Holy cow, dude. So, okay. You have a Discord, Pokemon Go. Are you like, hey guys, check out, the backside of this park? Or like, there's going to be a Pokemon.
We orchestrated raids. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but
no, you're going to get into raids right now. Because how are you raiding? Like somebody throws a Pokemon in somebody's house and then you all raid it?
So there's gyms in Pokemon Go, and the gyms are like points of interest in the place, like like a statue, a cool statue, or a historical building or something like that. And on the map, where that place is on the map on your phone, which is a map of where you're at, there's a gym that sticks out of there, and then there's you go in there and you either raid, as in fight the boss of that, or you battle the gym, which is all the Pokemon that people have left, and then you battle it so that your team can take over the gym.
Okay.
But it was something that you had to orchestrate, like with other people, to get done.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're probably not gonna go in there with
Yeah, dude, our Discord had like bots and stuff like that would automatically like do all the work for you. It was freaking badass. Now I didn't do any of the bot making. We had really good guys for that, but
dude, that's gnarly. That's so That's wild. Like not the Pokemon Go, just the whole orchestration of the Discord where you have actual AI, well, before AI, but you have bots in there that are orchestrating all the work for you. So you just show up, right?
That's actually how I met our CFO.
Lauren?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. I met Lauren through you. We both like cats. So like we're like super cool like that. But,
Yeah. Lauren actually still plays, I think.
dude, that's dope. Get it, girl. I'm not gonna lie. That's tight. So extremely avid Pokemon Go player. Did you take your kids around? Because I know that in my area there was a couple guys going around. Like I used to skateboard a lot, right? I used to do a lot of skateboarding. And skateboarding, it's not just everything. You can skate everything you see, yes, but there are places where you can go that are like famous spots, whether it's a handrail or a set of stairs or a ledge or like whatever what you're trying to grind or jump something or do something. And there was a guy going around pranking people, like he was throwing tons of like Pokemon on skate spots. So when we'd go to skate, we'd go to film these tricks, like, oh, we're gonna go out here, we're gonna film tonight, we're gonna do this, and we show up and there's 25 people standing on the set of stairs on their phones. We're like, what's going on? Like, oh, Pokemon, there's a rare one.
That's a raid.
And I'm like, oh, that's a raid. Okay, so
that's why they were there.
Oh, okay. Well, not bad on the Raiders, but that guy, he literally ruined so many spots for so long because you couldn't go skate anywhere because all these Pokemon Go players were looking for Pokemon. And it's like you can throw like what would be a fake Pokemon. I don't understand. Like, is it like a lure or something that you throw out?
If you say the word fake, I have to imagine that dude was doing like he was spoofing, so he was pretty much hacking it.
All I know is there was supposed to be Pokemon that were supposed to be at these spots, and all these people would show up to like,
and then the Pokemon wasn't there.
Yeah, and they would wait around forever, like looking in directions.
That is very likely somebody on a Discord server out there in California giving coordinates to something that doesn't exist because he's trolling.
Okay. Well, yeah, that jerk off ruined a lot of skateboarding for like a summer for us.
He also sounds like he ruined a lot of Pokemon playing for people too.
I'm selfish, dude. I just think about the skateboarding. So sorry.
So here you go. The highest level you can get in the game is level 50. I'm level 50. I walked 17,599.2 kilometers, caught 304,787 Pokemon, visited 231,758 Pokestops. I have 199,489,936 experience points. And it started in 2016 in July. So
you're like pro. Like you were like a pro.
Actually so after a while in the game, they actually initiated and came out with actual battling, and that became a really big thing. And at one point I actually beat the North American champion.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So okay. Are you sit there and you do it on your phones, or is it someplace where when you guys get together there's like a TV screen
it's all remotely?
Oh, dude, that's tight, dude. So you're Northeast Pro, like you're the dude.
No, I beat him once. That was it.
But you beat him.
I did.
Okay, so you don't win every classic, but you win one. You're still a classic champion. So I would have to say
I did pretty good, man. I did pretty good.
All right, humble yourself out, I guess. I don't know. I'm just giving you your flowers. Like that's gnarly. Like you were pro. Like you were the pro. That's tight.
Yeah. So. But once I picked up that fishing rod again, I pretty much never picked that game up again ever.
Pokemon went?
Yep.
So son asked you to pick it up. You go Erie, you're fishing, Dark Horse Tackle, Andrew Hayes.
Yeah, it was like I was wandering in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, and then finally came home again and realized where I was supposed to be.
So now you're the fishing Moses. Okay. I mean, the beard matches, I'm just going to say. you hold your hands up like this, you'll be good. No, so all right, so you come back, you get into Dark Horse Tackle, you subscribe, you're just a subscriber. Now
Mm-hmm.
you got onto the pro staff pretty fast after you subscribed, right?
No, not really that fast.
What, a year?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's fast.
Oh,
You were the dude too. I remember when they talked to me about doing pro staff and I showed up and you were like the first dude to be like, "What's up, bro?" And I was like, "Hey." And
yeah, man, it was fun. It was cool.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. It was cool. I was traveling for work a lot, so I like had just hotels. So I was like either fishing the hotel area or like talking to you guys on the Instagram chat. It was pretty cool.
I miss those rapid fires. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I don't have time for them.
Well, business has changed. So you went from customer to pro staff member to owner.
Correct.
Okay. There was a struggle in there.
There was.
Do you want to talk about that?
No.
Okay.
There's no need to bring that shit up, man.
Okay. Yeah. I just didn't know if you felt like you need to talk about it because
No.
honestly, like in knowing you, like you handled yourself. I'm just going to tell you, you are
I
most
appreciate that, man.
level-headed professional I know. So,
I appreciate that, man. I will
yeah.
tell you this though, looking back, like I still did. There still was a lot of things I could have done better.
Hey, dude, you handled yourself better than I could ever handle myself. So you are you're now the owner of a
co-owner.
Well, co-owner
Yeah.
of a small American business that supports small American businesses.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
How's that looking for you right now? Is it?
I love it, man. I do. It's a small business, dude. So it's infuriating. It's stressful. It's a baby.
Yeah.
You love it, but you hate it. I'm not kidding. Like, and Dark Horse Tackle, if you ask me, is maybe just now coming out of infancy stage and starting to become a toddler.
Yeah.
So it still makes messes on the floor, and it's tough, but I really do enjoy it. My favorite part is all the people I get to meet.
Oh yeah.
I love that. I love the fact that I know that there are at least some people out there who get that box and feel the same way I do when I got my first box. That's badass because we put a lot of work into it. That's just cool shit, man. You know what I mean? And I get to talk to all these bait makers who feel the same way about their business as I feel about mine. And so they're super into what they're doing, man. And I love that energy. Like I love people that are out there busting their butts to do something, make something, whatever. And I get to talk to all these people all the time, man. And they're all fantastic, dude.
Dude, yeah. And then on top of that, so you get to work in something that you're very passionate about, along with working full-time job. So you're working 2 jobs now.
Yeah.
Is there anything like fishing is no longer an escape now? It's more of a mental reset, right? Like you've kind of turned it into a healthier.
So I would like to clarify something.
Yeah.
I may have used fishing as an escape.
Right.
But fishing is never from the very first time I did it until right now today, fishing has always been beautiful to me. Just because it was an escape didn't mean I felt dirty doing it.
No. That's not what I'm saying. Let me clarify a little bit. So we've all done fishing for escape at some point or another. Mine is sometimes more that mental escape. I need that mental escape. It's not necessarily I'm hiding from, whatever's going on, but I definitely need that escape. And then I don't feel dirty about it. It's a wonderful time, but when I get done fishing, it's like it's like I almost hang my head lower because I'm walking back into this life
Yes.
there, this
Yeah,
headspace
it's
or
all waiting
whatever.
for you, buddy.
Right. Right. It's waiting right there for you. So that's what I'm saying. It's an escape. Now, when I'm saying it's a mental reset is when it's not so much that I'm at my wit's end, but I have some time. I could use some me time. I go out and I do that and I come back and I feel refreshed and I'm ready to take on whatever I'm coming back from. Not what I'm coming back from, what I'm coming back to. I have a better state and a point of view.
Yeah, it's like
you know?
it's like you were it's like you were hangry and you got a good meal and now you feel a little better. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm saying. So, and I know you only used it for that small time in your life as an escape, but in talking to you now, the only reason I say it is because like working and fishing, you don't get to fish that often, and you also work a full-time job on top of that. I'm just saying that is an industry-wide.
Yeah. Yeah,
known
no,
fact.
I don't get to fish as much, but in fairness, that's because I'm making better decisions.
Yeah. I get it. Yes.
So yeah, so like I gotta think about like, all right, I could go ahead and listen, I live here in Pittsburgh, so if I'm going fishing, you're looking at a 45-minute drive.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I'm pampered. I'm pampered. It's terrible.
So that's gas. The truck is thirsty. Hold on. Excuse me.
No, that's all good.
The truck is thirsty and stuff. So like I gotta think about it. You know what I mean? Like, can I really afford to do this right now? Like what else could I do for that money?
Yeah.
And there's time. Sometimes, dude, I just don't have the time. But I don't I actually almost enjoy it a little more now.
The fishing.
Yeah.
You enjoy it a little more. Is
Yeah.
it a sense of pride and ownership of what you're throwing, or is it more?
It's all of it, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's literally everything. It's going fishing with a clean conscience that's paradise, buddy.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
It doesn't get better than that.
I mean,
yeah. Going fishing with a clean conscience and I imagine you know what I'm talking about. Like sometimes you go fishing and you're blowing off something that you shouldn't blow off.
Oh yeah, dude. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And while you're fishing, you probably won't even think about that thing you're blowing off, but that's the thing waiting for you when you come back.
Exactly. That's what my definition of an escape is. Like
so if you can do it with a clean conscience, that's badass.
Mental reset, baby. It is time. That's what I'm talking about. That's awesome, man.
I have always felt good. I don't need to catch a fish when I'm fishing. The water makes me feel better. Being near the water makes me feel better.
That's like an actual thing, right? For like the human mind and soul, like that is a thing.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like that for everybody, but I've back during the divorce and when I was having a hard time, it was one of the only times I ever had somebody that I talked to, like a therapist or whatever.
Yeah.
After talking to me for a little while, he was like, suggested that I put like one of those little miniature fountains in my house because he says, I think you honestly need to be near water.
Yeah. No, that's okay. So you're not alone in this, buddy. There's like science that backs this, that it is good for a person, a human being, a being of this planet to be near water, both mentally, physically. You know what I'm saying? It is a thing, not just because, you're thirsty and you get to drink, but there's something settling about it. I would pull that whole thing up because I was actually looking at it the other day. I'm not going to pull it up right now and read a whole bunch of stuff off of it, but it is proven. We can talk about it another time.
I mean, I'm sure that if I had to think about it in the terms that you're putting forward right now, I am sure that way back in our caveman lizard brains, being near water would put you at comfort because that's one less thing you have to worry about.
Yeah. I'll send you the whole thing on it after we're off here.
Yeah, neat.
It's actually super interesting to read.
Yeah.
But and then there's also like, multiple clinical psychologists, therapists will have writings on why it's good to be near water, be outdoors. Whether it's
I don't like therapists. I don't like psychologists.
You know what? I don't like the water, but yet I go fishing all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't like them.
I know. And I'm not supposed to not like the water. Like it says it's good for you.
Dude,
It
my
is good
dad
for
doesn't
you.
like the
I
water.
feel about it, but dude, bro, I swim like a stone, bro. So it's like it is like a whole nother thing that I got this kayak now because there's only like X amount of plastic and X amount of air between the next layer of plastic before I go under. You know what I'm saying? So
No shit, dude. I don't float.
It's because of your beard. That thing will just soak up water. You just go face.
Dude, I
to the
don't
bottom.
float. I can swim like a fish, but I do not float. I will
Really?
sink like a freaking stone. Yes.
Okay. So have you done the layback thing? They tell you like as a kid,
Yeah, it
lay
doesn't
back,
work.
Put your chin in the air. It doesn't.
Nope.
It doesn't work.
Nope. I will
dude.
sink like a stone.
See, I thought that was just me and like my, incompetent person.
I have zero facts to back this up, but I swear to God, it has something with bone density, and I think some people are just too freaking dense to float.
So okay, here, dude. So you want to get real weird about this? Like my mom, when we were little kids, and like we would go to my grandparents' house, and they have a pool, and I could not swim very well at all. So I was like the shallow end killer. You know what I'm saying? If it was 3 feet or less, like watch out for Dave. I'm gonna grab your ankle. You know what I'm saying? Like because I could just stand up. But my mom would tell me, don't eat before you get in the pool. Don't eat. Or you have to wait 30 minutes after you eat before you get in the pool. No shit. I shit you not, bro. You know how my little like childhood brain interpreted that is I need air in my stomach. So I need the food to go through me so I can float a little bit because I could not do anything, dude. Like,
Yeah,
it
dude.
didn't matter.
I don't float.
Yeah.
I can float in the ocean.
That's salinity content. That's actually science. Like the saltier the water, the more minerals.
I can't float. I gotta tread water, man.
Bro, there's people that go to the Dead Sea. You ever heard of the Dead Sea?
Yeah.
Over in Europe, they go to the Dead Sea with like camping chairs, or like not camping chairs. It was lawn chairs at the time because it was when I was a kid. I was looking at these graphics. I was like, no way, this isn't true. And like Encyclopedia Britannica and like a lot of information later, and a trip to the library because we didn't have the internet, guys. I found out that it is true. You can float on a chair in the Dead Sea. It is so the salinity content is so high, and that's when I learned like, okay, ocean, you can float, but I don't necessarily want to float in the ocean because everything in the ocean is bigger than me. So I'm just a giant
has
top
teeth.
water. Yeah, and I'm a top water lure at that point. So no, thank you, dude. Know your
role.
Yeah, exactly. I stay in my lane, bro, with my feet on the ground.
Hey man, me and my older brother on Assateague Island, we take the family and the kids out, and everybody be playing in the ocean. We wouldn't move at all, and when the sun went down, we'd catch sharks right where we were playing.
Nope. No.
Dude, they piss off. They piss off until the sun sets.
Yeah, but you're still in the water. Yeah, no, thank you. Like, hey, you know what doesn't have teeth and water that I can stand in and be comfortable? A bathtub. I like the bathtub. I will take a soak every now and then. I will take a long shower. Like, I love that.
Baths are disgusting.
Hey, not if you're already clean and you throw a bunch of salt in there. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. The Epsom salt. Oh, I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, you can all you want. Dude. You take a shower and then you hop in an Epsom salt bath, bro. I'm telling you, you feel better.
I'm supposed to stay away from salt, Dave. My blood pressure's high.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's what you get for owning a company, dude. I mean, so all right. So fishing is therapeutic now. Fishing is a release, and it is beautiful, and you get to enjoy it at its fullest extent. And you in life, where are you at now in life, like personally?
That's a big question, Dave.
Yeah.
That's a big question. That's a very broad brush, big freaking question.
Oh,
Like,
broad brush. All right. Would you like me to narrow it down?
sure.
Okay, I'll narrow it down. Fishing is your mental reset.
You
What
keep calling it that. I don't like that, but okay.
Okay.
We'll
we
go
won't
with
call it mental reset. We'll call it fishing is your thing. Fishing is your
I like that.
Fishing is your freedom, right?
That's nice and simple.
Okay, cool. Fishing is your freedom because we fish, right? What gets you to the point where you need to go fishing?
I always need to go fishing.
Oh, okay. You work 12 hours a day on your regular job. You work probably 7 to 8 hours.
The second I can fit it in, I'm going.
All right, cool. Yeah. Okay.
So like, yeah, I like
you're literally one of the busiest people I know. That's why I'm wondering like where you're at in life, because I don't know how you manage it all. You have a family. I mean, children are somewhat grown, but you have a family. You have a household. You have a job that you work. You own a company, and then when do you sleep? Like, how do you function? Like,
I also still do handyman work from here to time.
Okay, so you have 3 jobs. How do you function, bro? Like, what?
By the way, so that is a product of me having way too much fun as a kid. If I would have not had so much fun as a kid, I probably could be relaxing a little bit more than I am right now. So I did that to myself. So right now I'm paying my dues, Dave. I'm paying my dues.
I get it. Dude. I'm there as well. I was a knucklehead for years,
and I accept that.
So your motivation no longer is providing, because your kids are almost grown and out of the house for the most part.
Yeah.
So your motivation now is just self-sustaining and future.
Yeah, I want to I want to get to the point where I'm only millwrighting like 3 months out of the year. I want to be traveling with Dark Horse Tackle. I want to be going to expos. I want to be going out there and so like when I sponsor something, like I really want to sponsor. Like I want to be there, man. You know, like KAS. Like I want to be there, man. You know what I mean? Like I want to be a part of it. This whole like sponsor put my name on it thing, like that doesn't mean crap to me. Like I want interaction. I want to be a part of what I'm sponsoring. I want Dark Horse Tackle to be a part of what they're sponsoring. So like that's what I want to do with my life, and that's what I'm trying to get. And I'm going to bust my ass until it bleeds so that I can get there.
That's awesome. See, that was the answer that I was looking for, and I didn't know how to pose the question. So thank you.
Ask our CFO. I'll get there eventually.
Oh shit! I'm not asking her nothing. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just that is above my pay grade right there. But you did say something important to me, and I want to clarify this. Like, you sponsor events, you sponsor charity stuff, you sponsor you have put Dark Horse Tackle up far and above and beyond what has ever been. You know,
I hope so, Dave. I hope so.
No, you really have, dude. Like, I've been around, you know what I'm saying? And I've talked to people who are around before me. Like, you've put it more.
Well, Dave, you can't take a shit in the woods and expect everybody to smell it unless you start fanning it, right? So
wise words. I'm just gonna clip that right there. Oh, so good. Oh man, yeah. No, you really you haven't necessarily put Dark Horse Tackle on the map, but what you did was you made Dark Horse Tackle a company.
Yeah, when I bought Dark Horse Tackle, it was definitely it was a sinking ship. I'm very positive of that. One of the owners was just completely and totally disengaged. And the product was suffering.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that good. So I didn't want to see it die.
Yeah, I didn't either, dude. But what I was getting at, do you have a sense of pride in what you've done?
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That is, for better or for worse, the fruits of my labor is how I define myself.
Dude, I love it. Like, I love it because, again, with the positive work ethic, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have been with you from the beginning, basically, with this whole thing and the way it's changed and the way it's evolved. Like, I flew across the country to be a part of it.
Hell yeah, dude.
You made it something that was so attractive and so it just made me eager to do more. Like, you have a sense about you. You have an essence about you that creates drive in other people, which is a very natural born skill. That is not something that you worked and you exercised on, dude. I believe it's who you are. Because I mean, listen to you. You went to school in a tuxedo and a briefcase, and then
A suit, Dave, not a tuxedo. I wasn't going there like a penguin.
you okay? So
I was
whatever.
going there like a businessman.
All right, you were a businessman in school.
Yeah.
Then you turned around and you created a giant 50,000.
I didn't create it. I just stepped in and made it better.
Exactly. Okay, perfect. Even better. So you as a person have pushed and driven everything that you have been passionate about to a greater level. Like, that is you as a person, dude. That is so when we leave, when we're done, when the world for us is over and the loved ones that are left behind, it's things like that. The actions and who people are is what they're remembered by, you know?
Sure, man. Yeah, your legacy. All that being said, honestly, the only thing I actually care about as far as legacy goes is that what I leave for my kids is a little bit better than what I was left with.
Yeah.
And that is not to knock what my parents did for me, because they're responsible for a large part of who I am. I love my parents. My mom and my dad both are excellent people. But I want to do for my kids a little bit better, and I want them to be able to look back at what I did with my life and maybe take something from it, learn something from it that can hopefully help them in their lives, so that the next generation can be a little bit better than the last one. That's all I really give a shit about. Yeah, I want Dark Horse Tackle to be great, but selfishly, I do all this stuff for the pleasure I get from it.
Yeah. There ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that at all. I was just saying, like, as your friend, like, because we are friends. As your friend, like, the legacy that you leave behind with me is you've made everything better the moment you touched it.
That means a lot, man. I hope that's true.
But it is true, because you're, like, not just your work ethic, but who you are as a person. Like, you are a pusher. You push the best out of people, and you push the best out of situations.
I don't know about the best and all the other stuff, but I definitely push.
It's true though. It's true though, dude. Like, a lot of people you don't tell people what they want to hear. You tell people what they need to hear. And, like, that's
I don't know if it's what they need to hear, but I definitely tell them what I think.
Look, I'm trying to give you credit here, and you're just shitting all over it.
This coming
bullshit.
This coming from someone who takes compliments so well.
Hey, I can dish them, all right, dude. I serve them up on a platter, bro. Like, that's my thing. I don't take anything from people. You know what I want my legacy to be? No one pee on my grave. Unless it's my homie Jason. He's allowed to pee on my gravestone, and that's it. Like,
when I die, I want everybody to show up in a red dress.
Oh, dude, you know I will show up in a red dress, bro. You heard it here first. I'm gonna
all
transvest
of
that, bro.
them, everybody.
Whole afternoon.
Everybody in a red dress.
dude.
Let's
That'd
make
be
it
awesome.
hot. Let's make
So-
it hot.
Yeah. So is that where you're stopping? Is that where you're just gonna stick with Dark Horse Tackle? Or are you making moves? What are you doing? What's going on? Explain to me.
So no, I'm not stopping.
Okay.
I no, I don't, my body is not going to be able to handle being a millwright, for all that long.
No.
It's if you actually give a shit about that job, it's not an easy job.
No. And if you have any questions about Zach's job, ask him about why he has a hole in the same knee of every one of his pants. Has to do with big nuts.
Yeah, I twist big nuts on my knees. And I got what my coworkers refer to fondly as the dick fingers.
It's so crooked though.
No, I intended to keep expanding and everything else. And in that vein, I've got an opportunity coming up here to purchase a profitable, what I would like to think is well-known, fully functioning bait making company. I intend on purchasing it in January. Some stuff's already been signed, and it's moving right along, buddy.
Are you allowed to talk about it, or are you have NDAs or what? Because I mean, this is now you got me on the edge of my seat. Thank you very much.
I'll tell you what. I don't feel comfortable coming right out and saying it.
Okay.
So I'm not going to, but I will tell you it's the best thing to put on the end of a big Joshy.
Dude.
And we'll leave it at that.
My guy. Dude, I'm not. if you don't know what this is, or if you don't know what big Joshy baits are, like there's websites. There's websites. Go check them out.
My business partner and best friend Josh would say, if you know, you know. Sarcastically.
Oh, dude, I love Josh. Man.
No, dude, I'm sitting here before we started this interview. I was sitting here editing video, and Josh has a presence on camera that is freaking amazing, man.
Oh yeah, he does, dude.
he's literally like he missed his calling, because that is what he needs to be doing.
Josh Chitwood, you need to be a child star right now. You need to
go back
whatever you're
and fix
doing
that.
And go back and be a childhood star.
Hey, I was a model.
Not a hand model.
No, I was a model when I was a kid.
What?
Yeah.
Is that why you wear the suit?
Suits were a part of my life, man.
Okay.
I wore suits to go to Kingdom Hall.
Yeah.
So all the time.
What? Yeah. So model, like, explain this now.
Yeah. So like I had a TV commercial on that during the Andy Griffith show for a popular children's clothing store and shit when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You were an Oshkosh Bagosh kid, or were you like something low? You were, dude. That's awesome. Oh, dude. I got an idea. We're gonna talk about it after the show. I got such a good idea. Okay, by the way, this is me and Zach's general relationship is we'll be talking about something and I'll be like, oh, dude, I got this idea, blah, 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 blah. And it's like the dumbest thing you've ever heard. And Zach will take that idea and mold it into like some genius move where I'm like, oh, that's not what I meant, but that's way cooler. So I'm going to give you this idea and then you're going to come up with something way better.
Well, it takes me a long time to process things, Dave.
I know, but
I got like a group of like, picture like the old I forget the proper name for it, but the old Greek guys in their togas sitting around discussing things ad nauseum.
Yeah.
I've got like a group of them in my head, and it takes a minute for them to come to a decision about things. And when they let me know, they let me know.
Well, as long as one of them isn't named Julius Caesar, I think you're doing all right.
Wasn't he Roman?
Roman, Greek.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was
Isn't
Roman.
Roman side Greece? Isn't it a city in Greece?
No, Rome is Italy.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm a dummy. Hey, at least I know what AOY means. All right. At least I know
AOY? AOY?
AOY. Y.
A-
Like the letter before Z. Not the letter after.
Oh my God, dude. I've
Explain
typed that
this.
like, dude, I've typed that like 3 times to people recently, and I think I actually said AOY.
Dude.
I'm serious. I just typed it to Drew the other day, and I'm pretty sure I said AOY.
Did you say congratulations on being AOI?
Dude, I was positive I said A. I know I did. I'm thinking about it now.
Oh, explain this. Explain yourself.
No, I need
This is
people to
awesome.
enunciate.
Some common sense, bro.
Like, I don't understand how AOI means Angler of the Year. It doesn't work for me.
So Zach,
Year does not start with I.
so behind the curtain a little bit, I've tried to record this episode before. We actually had technical difficulties tonight, in case you didn't notice. And I had technical difficulties, and Zach was telling me a story about how he didn't know for a very long period of time that it was AOY, Angler of the Year. He didn't understand why everybody said AOI is Angler of the Year. I was
freaking fruit bats.
dude, I was damn near crying when I was like, no, I can't believe this. All right, so I do have a couple questions. I just want to we'll run through these. I mean, not run through them, because I definitely want, like, I'd love to hear your actual take on these and not just a one-word answer. But your biggest life accomplishment outside of fishing, like the biggest thing where you could sit back and say, dude, I'm better from that.
It's like something I did.
Yeah. Something that you can stand back and be like proud of. You can stand on it. You know what I'm saying?
Letting go of the childish things that I thought were important of me so that I could provide better for my family.
Hell yeah. That's super solid. Now,
Yeah.
have you ever been in a situation like, do you take what you learn on the water into your life, or do you take what you learn in life onto the water? Like mental blocks,
No.
physical limits, any type of emotional struggles you ever?
Dude, I mean, maybe I do. Maybe I do it without thinking about it. But Josh was getting on me the other day because Josh is starting to learn my lake.
Yeah.
And he feels pretty good about it, and that's badass.
Yeah.
But he was throwing something that was working, and what I was throwing wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I heard him mumble under his breath, "Would it kill you to throw what I'm throwing?" And that's not the point. I'm out there to do what I want to do. And even though what I'm throwing ain't catching right now, I want to throw it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna do it. So I don't, not consciously, Dave. Not consciously. I try to let the water be its own thing. But patience, maybe.
Yeah.
Patience.
Okay.
I take patience. Patience is something that I wasn't good at. I'm pretty good at now in life. And I take that to the water with me.
Yeah. I was just curious, like, I don't know, man, because sometimes, at least for me, because we both know my brain runs 1 billion miles a minute, whether I'm moving that fast or not. And
so I guess I guess talking about a mental reset and all that other stuff, if I took my life with me under the water, it wouldn't be that much of a reset.
Right. Well,
So
okay. It wasn't really like the idea of taking work home with you, but it was more the idea of, is there something that you've ran into, like a block on the water? Like, I just can't get him to bite, and I've thrown everything at him. And then you sit down for a couple minutes and you just kind of breathe and just take a step back. Like you said, patience, something like that. And then learn how to do that on the water. You take that into your life.
I am not cerebral on the water. I am very much instinct, gut, and do whatever the hell I want to do.
Okay.
Because that is the nice thing about being out there, is that I can do that out there and I win no matter what, because I'm on the water. I'm in a beautiful place. I'm seeing amazing things. And yeah.
That slides right into the next question. Is you ever set your rods down and just take some time to sit where you're at?
Occasionally, but not as often as you'd think, because there's actually, for me, there's almost a meditative state. So a lot of times meditation can be accomplished by repetitive action.
Yeah.
And I never stop casting. I just don't. I don't stop. Occasionally I will. One time I was on the Pocomoke River with my mom, and it was hotter than a bull's ass in August. And there was this big tree hanging out over the water, and it had this big canopy, and there was this space to float my canoe up underneath it. And I floated my canoe up underneath it, and it was cool. And I kind of laid back in my canoe and munched on my snacks, and it was amazing. So if the opportunities present themselves, yes, but a lot of times, dude, I don't stop casting. I love casting. I love retrieving. I love the noise the lure makes. I love the feeling of, for me, the feeling of fishing is like stretching a rubber band. And you keep stretching the rubber band, and eventually that rubber band is going to snap. You don't know when, but it's coming. And you get a gut feeling like it's about to snap. And I love that, dude. I love that. And that, for me, that's the fishing. I know I'm every time I cast, I'm stretching that rubber band further. And it's about to snap, dude. And I know it's about to snap. And every once in a while you make that cast, and that's the cast that's going to snap that rubber band. And bam, that fish creams your lure, and you pull a nice one in. So
you are literally layman defining dopamine.
Cool.
That's awesome. No, that's super cool. No, dude, that's what I live for. Like that. Oh my gosh, dude. So you just psyched me up to go fishing right now. You know what I'm saying? Because that and my brain craves the fishing because that is my passion and that is my main focus personally.
Mm-hmm.
But truly what my brain is now, you just gave me a small hit of what's dopamine. So now that whole rubber band tensioning, that's just more and more dopamine getting released into my brain. And then once that snap happens, it's like a release. Pow!
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Dude, that is the best way to describe it. That is so cool. All right. I mean, these are kind of tough. Like, it's stupid, but
You're good.
Mental blocks, dude. Mental blocks. Like, let's talk about it. Because
mental blocks on the water?
Water or life, dude. Like today, me and my wife have been having somewhat of a text argument because, we're not in the same place at the same time all the time lately. And we actually got to physically sit down and have that conversation and finish the conversation to come to some sort of solution. And I was stuck. I had all these points that I wanted to make and I just couldn't get them out. I was stuck. I had like this mental block. How do you get out of that?
People you love will do that to you.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. But I'm sure you've had that time before. Is there a methodology that you use to get out of it, or?
Yeah, I'm a bull.
I'm sorry. I love it.
It works out for me sometimes it doesn't, but that's my approach.
Yep.
That's not to say I don't understand I don't understand finesse. I do know how to finesse. But as I'm getting older, I feel like I'm running out of time, so I do a lot less finessing.
Yeah. I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking. So, for you, emotional struggles, dude, like the stuff that's tugging at you right now.
Emotional struggles.
What are you doing? How do you constructively work on them?
Boy, Dave. I'm trying to think of an example of an emotional struggle that I have. Actually, very interestingly enough, probably the biggest emotional struggle that I have as of the last few years is being lonely.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get pretty goddamn lonely, but then I remember I don't have time for all that bullshit, and then I'm okay again.
I figured I'd call you enough. Do I need to call you more so you feel less lonely? Because I will. Like, I'll call you more.
No, yeah, no, that's you wanted on an honest answer.
No,
there it is.
That is a solid answer.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry you're going through that, but
I'm not. It's okay.
Because you don't have time for it right now. I get it. I'm just saying.
Well, it goes back to, like I said, I kind of did that. Well, I did that. You know what I mean? I did that. That doesn't mean that every once in a while I'm like, man, what would be really cool right now?
Dinner.
I'm not gonna finish that statement, but
yeah, dinner. I'm just kidding.
Nah, no, we're gonna stop that one.
Right yeah. All right.
Make sure you don't get demonetized, Dave.
No, I don't care, dude. Well, actually, make sure Brad and Matt don't get demonetized.
No, it's sometimes you go to sleep at night and you wonder why you're laying there by yourself. But that usually only lasts for a little bit, man.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm lucky. I'm so fortunate. I have been in love with just some of the most amazing people you've ever met in your entire life, and I got to experience great relationships with them. I have two beautiful boys who are just they're amazing kids, and I'm sure they're both gonna do wonderful things in their life. Like, I am a lucky man. And just getting older, I'm on the 30th of September, I'm gonna be 46. Getting older, I finished a little early, Dave.
That's what she said.
Yeah, but like I said, it can be an emotional struggle, but it doesn't last for too long because I've got a whole lot of other things in my life right now that are making it very full and very rewarding.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's a great perspective. I love it. All right, so health. Let's talk about health. Drink a drink.
Hold on, let me hit the bubby real quick.
I just want to talk about health because if I have, you're my friend, what are you doing for your health, man? Like, we're not getting any younger, bro, and like, we want to stick around. We want to do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
well, the biggest thing,
have a lot going on. So
the biggest thing I'm doing for my health right now is working my ass off, so that I have a way out of working my ass off. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, most of the time I succeed in eating pretty damn healthy.
Yeah.
I had they told me I had high blood pressure right after I ripped my bicep off of my arm. No shit, Sherlock. But they wanted me to take like medication and stuff like that. So like, I'm real careful with like my salt intake and all that other stuff. And stress, I mean,
Mental health, yeah.
Dude, like I don't know. Stress, you're gonna have stress.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna have stress.
It's
So
life.
there's no way to get away from stress. So the only option is learning how to deal with it better.
Yeah.
And that's something that I work at every day.
I mean, I'm glad you do, but let's talk about this a little bit. Like, you get to go fishing, dude. Like that is your beautiful time. That is your reset. Like I know you don't like me to say mental reset. So that's your thing. That's your happy place. All right.
I also just helped rehabilitate a turbine. I like completely rebuilt a turbine, dude.
Dude, how is that for you?
How badass is that, dude? I don't know about the rest of the guys, but when that thing started spinning and it came off a turning gear and got the 3,600 RPMs and it was humming and power was being made, dude, I felt good.
Dude, so is that so I have a affinity for fine finish woodwork, and I love doing it. And when I'm like finished sanding or I'm clear coating or something like that, like I get to look at the work that I've been doing. Like it's almost something spiritual. Like when you sit back.
Yeah, you caught the damn fish, dude.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you caught. But the whole process that goes into it.
Sure.
I'm not talking about like that whole buildup. I'm talking about the satisfaction of seeing it completed and the perfection of it.
Sure.
I don't know, man. You
gotta watch out for that perfection thing there. That'll steal your joy.
Oh, it really will, dude, because you pick apart everything really bad. I do. I know I do. But what I'm saying is, do you have that same feeling when you complete?
Yeah.
Like you're talking about that.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
That's the fruits of your labor.
Yeah. The feelings from the depths.
Sure, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. That's some of the stuff that was in people what built this damn country.
Hell yeah. Fucking 1000%. Hell yeah. Now, one last question. It's a travel question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, it's a couple travel questions. First off, are you going to come visit me soon?
I don't know about soon, Dave, but I will come visit you. You have my word.
Hell yeah, dude. We got that room. It might be my son's room, but you can sleep in there. We used to have a guest room, but now we have a baby. So now it's
Dad, there's a beard in here.
So okay, you've been traveling a little bit with Dark Horse. You did the KAS,
a little bit, yeah.
You did Columbus.
About to go to Kentucky, baby.
Oh, are you going to the Broodstock?
I'm going.
Dude.
It's gonna be a ketchup packet tomato soup trip, but I'm going.
Dude, hell yeah! No, those are some of the best trips, dude. Honestly, those are some of the best trips. Are you going alone? Are you going with Josh?
I will be picking Josh up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, Josh and I are in the tournament. We will be fishing team on Saturday.
On the Kayak Adventure Series?
Yeah.
Dude, that's so sick. Speaking of bicep and the KAS, did you hear about Paul Glass?
No.
Dude, reach out to him. He just tore his bicep, dude.
No.
Uh-huh.
Paul Glass. AA?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Reach out to him because he just tore his
bicep.
bicep. He's moving
I will.
or something. I saw it on the interwebs.
We got something super special coming up in December. We got Dark Horse Tackle's Aggressively Average Christmas, baby.
Oh,
so I'm actually in a group chat with them right now.
Dude, well, wish him well or something, or give him some words of advice because you were there and I seen you like that. It was gnarly. Your arm was just healing, and you're like,
I had a shoulder boob.
Yeah, I think I guessed. You did, dude. It was gnarly.
Yeah, I had a shoulder boob. It was so weird. Like, honestly, it didn't, like, the actual injury didn't really hurt. It's just my bicep freely swinging around inside of my arm made me want to puke a lot. When it happened, it felt like I was being electrocuted.
Oh. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. But travel. So when you travel, because you travel for work, you travel for fishing, you do all this kind of stuff. Is there anything that you stop and do? Like, I'm not saying your favorite food, I'm not saying your favorite bar, but You ever look for whatever the world's biggest chicken, or you ever
Nope.
try and like take in anything that
Nope.
city has to offer? Nothing.
Nope. I
Nothing.
mean, if the situation presents itself, it will, but it's never something I'm looking for. Honestly, Dave, I am never more happy than when I am moving. A long time ago, I took a Greyhound bus to go visit my parents down in Maryland, and it wasn't a great time. A lot of things were going wrong. And I was sitting there on that stupid, filthy, nasty Greyhound bus with everybody you didn't want next to you.
Yeah, I take it.
And I was looking out the window and I had this shit-eating grin on my face. I love to be moving. So the actual act of going from one place to the other, the feel of movement and moving is enough for me. It always has been. It always will be. I love it.
You know, that's awesome. I love that. I really love that because I'm somewhat similar. I like being in the car. I like the drive. You know,
Dude, that's the whole reason why I used to skate.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just to be rolling.
Yep.
Dude, there's something good about that feeling. People who have never skateboarded, I'm sorry, but maybe take 20 minutes to figure it out and take a push around your block.
Just don't fracture your skull on it like I did.
You know, you can't be afraid to fall, bro. That's the thing.
I wasn't.
Well, I'm saying for the encouraging the other people to jump on a board and take a roll around. Like, you can't be afraid to fall. If you're afraid to fall, then don't jump on. But
or wear a damn helmet.
I mean, that
wear a life vest, wear a helmet, Dave.
Wear a PFD.
You're a kayak fisherman now, so
Yep.
I don't want to hear you talking about not wearing a helmet while you're skateboarding.
Oh no! Those are two different things completely.
Oh, they are not.
Oh my god!
Oh, they are not.
No.
Do you want to know how big of a dork I feel like with that PFD on, man?
Bro,
I freaking hate that thing, dude. I hate that thing. I hate that thing more than I hate wearing a hard hat, which is basically a helmet. No, I hate wearing a PFD. I wear it anyways, and I will be honest with you right now. The whole reason why I wear a PFD is not for personal safety. I wear a PFD because I do not want some Yahoo watching me fish and catching fish on a kayak, not in a PFD, and then that person goes out and does it and drowns. That's why I do it. I don't do it for personal safety. Now, does it keep me safe? Probably.
Oh, it
but
keeps
that's
me
not
safe.
why. That's not why I do it. I do it because I don't want somebody watching me and thinking that it's okay, because that person may not understand that that's a choice that I'm making and it's a choice I'm allowed to make.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
wearing a helmet is the same damn thing, buddy.
No, it's not. No, wearing a helmet is like
listen,
putting on a
Thrasher,
BFD and then wearing arm floaties like the little inflatable muscles.
That's what a PFD feels like to me, buddy.
Dude, no. Well, okay.
Just because you don't like the water and you love the concrete doesn't make it any different, buddy.
I'm just saying. We can agree to disagree on this because I don't mind wearing the PFD.
I do consistently wear a PFD now that I am in a spot where I could be of some influence to somebody. Before that, I never did. I do now, though. That being said, before I made that decision, I almost drowned whitewater rafting, and I had a PFD on.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that, because I'm already paranoid. I've been moving.
Dude, what they say about
lately.
What they say about your feet getting stuck in rocks and the current pushing you down is no freaking joke, man. Like God's got his hands on your back holding you under the water because you did something bad.
Oh, hell no, don't tell me that. Okay, we're gonna move on from that. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, man.
Let's hear it.
Absolutely. For what?
For
what am I shouting people out for?
For anything, dude. Whatever
for anything?
Yeah.
You know what? I just got done editing that video, and I'd like to shout out my co-owner Josh. Josh is my best friend at this point in my life. And he actually he actually adds something to the business that I can't. And I think it's very, very important. And yeah, I'd like to shout him out. Josh Chitwood Fishing on Instagram.
There it is.
If you like satirical stuff, definitely check him out.
Yes.
He also can catch some fish.
He can. So shout yourself out. Where can everybody find you? How can we locate you? If
I'll tell you to go to
somebody
my.
hears this and can relate to what you're saying, like how can they communicate with you?
I tell you to go to my Instagram, which is Metal Jones. But dude, I never check that shit. So the best way to get a hold of me is Zach at darkhorsetackle.com, email, or DM Dark Horse Tackle on Instagram, or send Dark Horse Tackle a message on TikTok or Facebook. That's probably how I'm gonna see it, because I ain't got time for my own shit right now. I got a small business baby.
Oh, dude. Well, dude, thank you for doing this. I'm super proud to say that you're like my first guest, like my first.
We didn't even get in. We'll maybe we'll do this again, but we didn't even get into Dink City.
Oh,
We completely skated right over that.
I skated over that because that was about. I had a part in that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was more interested about people getting to know you than we.
But dude, the way you and I were about ready to fight till the death over that thing was that's a part of me more than a lot of things are, man.
Bro, a small part of me still thinks you took complete advantage of me, but at the same time, it was my own
I absolutely
damn fault.
did. I absolutely did. Now, that being said, there was a lot of timing involved there. That was actually when I had time to go. But I was like, oh my God, he can't go fishing. I can. I'm going to kick his fucking ass. Hey, listen, man. I ain't necessarily proud, but I ain't a liar neither.
I love it. No, it's all good, dude. And honestly, I wouldn't have lost anybody else, dude. I'm super happy, dude. Like,
it made me feel good knowing that you'd have done the same damn thing.
I would have done the same thing. If you had told me you were going to Disneyland the last 3 days of the tournament, I would have blocked my wife's number on my phone. I'd just been like, dawn to dusk, I'm out. Like, oh.
But no, Dave, I'd like to shout out the Wolf of Walmart, and I'd like to shout out this podcast that he's trying to do right now. But man's a good man, and you're going to learn a whole lot about a lot of people, and you might learn a little bit about yourself.
That's always been the plan, my man. I'm still learning every day. Thank you. So anything else you'd like to say before you get out of here, or just
let's
hear it.
Support small businesses, especially if you're a fisherman. Support small businesses by coming to Dark Horse Tackle. Check out our bait shop. If you're a new fisherman or just an old fisherman that needs to get out of your old stale ways, subscribe to the Dark Horse Tackle fishing box. Get a hold of some stuff that you can't find anywhere else. We make it easy.
It is literally the small business tackle warehouse. I love it.
We're getting there.
No, it is, dude, because I can go on there and I can get whatever I want. It's all American small business. So,
yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, Zach, dude, thank you so much, bro.
My pleasure, man. I had a blast. I've been waiting for this for a while. I've looked forward to this, man, and I think it turned out fantastic.
Me too, dude. I appreciate you so much, brother. Thank you. I'm gonna remove you. Don't go nowhere. And,
I'll be here, baby.
I'll catch up with you in a second. Until then, right. Zach, thank you, dude. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you, everybody, for listening. If you are still here at 2 hours and 8 minutes, and dealt with my technical difficulties, I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing everything. Zach, dude, you're the man. Thank you so much, bro. Dude pride to the end. That's my man's right there. That's my cross country brother right there. If you are still listening to this podcast, it is sponsored by Kayak City out here in California. So if you are in California, if you are in Northern California, if you are anywhere near the Sacramento area or not near the Sacramento area, stop by Kayak City For all your kayak fishing needs, they have everything that you could need and more. Ordering's easy. It's laid out plain and simple. So thank you guys for being a sponsor of this podcast. I really appreciate you. And I look forward to the moves that we're making now and what's coming up real soon. Also, I'd like to shout out one of the guys, Sam Giles. Sam Giles with Solomon Footwear, dude. Like, my wife just ran a giant mountain marathon. She's the runner. I don't even know what it's called, but she ran 32 miles and scaled 11,000 feet elevation. And she did it in 9 hours. So shout out to my wife for doing that. Thank you for putting up with my stuff all the time. And shout out Sam Giles, because he was running the Solomon Footwear booth, and like, that dude made me feel right at home. He was super tight. So thanks for being there, Sam. And if you guys are interested, this podcast is going to be coming out every other Wednesday on the Catch Podcast Network. You can find me on Instagram under the Whole Angler Podcast. You can find me, Dave Erkey, personally under the Instagram Wolf of Walmart. If you have any questions, or you can relate to any of the content, or you are curious about something that we talked about on the show, by all means, hit me up on any of those formats, and I will be glad to talk to you. I love hearing from you guys. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday or Thursday by the time you get done listening to this. Thank you.